Let me ask you about Allen Weisselberg. You heard his former daughter-in-law telling Tom Winter that he could be the ultimate tour guide through the system. And, of course, a lot of people thought you'd be the ultimate tour guide. Tell me about Weisselberg and what he may have known that you already know.
Right. So Allen Weisselberg is the chief financial officer of the Trump Organization. He is by far the longest serving and acting executive at the Trump Organization. Basically, Fred Trump told Donald to take Allen Weisselberg, really because Fred didn't trust Donald with the money that he was loaning him in order to get into business. And Allen then ultimately, who was the bookkeeper, became the CFO and, as I said, the longest serving executive at the organization. Now, I don't know if I would say that Allen is the roadmap to the investigation. Truthfully, whatever they have, they have. Would it be better to have the accountant? Always, considering there was not a single dollar in and not a single dollar out of that company that did not cross through Allen Weisselberg's desk. So in regard to the financial crimes that are being discussed right now in the investigation, many of which you have seen at my open testimony before the House Oversight Committee, it would certainly be helpful for Allen Weisselberg's testimony, but it is not fatal to their investigation. Remember, they just obtained more than 1 million pages of documents, 8 years worth of Mr. Trump's and the Trump Organization's tax returns. That's the real roadmap there. And many people, including the companies that they brought in, are able to decipher it, myself included. You don't need to charge him on 20 issues. All you need is one. And believe me, they have more than one. So my recommendation for Allen, as I had stated to Jane Mayer, unless you want to spend some time in a camp like I did, and you want to put your boys at risk, I'm pretty sure that he'll be providing information to the district attorney. And look, when you have somebody like Mark Pomeranz, who is a seasoned veteran when it comes to this type of litigation, and he's been on both sides of the fence. He's been a tough-nosed prosecutor, and he's been a hard-nosed defender. He knows the game better than anybody, and I can't imagine who they're going to bring in order to challenge his capabilities.
So Pomeranz knows the game better than anyone. You know what was going on in the Trump administration, the Trump Organization better than anyone. You and Allen Weisselberg. Do you have confidence that Pomeranz has the information that he needs and a good understanding of what this takes? Because it does sound like they've got more than 1 million pages of documents. You said they have what they have. Do you think they have what they need and that Pomeranz knows what to do with it?
Oh, I'm certain about that. You know, as I've always said, paper doesn't lie. Individuals do. So no matter what Donald Trump is going to try to claim, the pages don't lie. You also have Mazur. You have the accounting firm that was doing it. Now, again, does it make the chain of information easier to understand when you have all of the individuals that participated, right? So, for example, you brought up the Stormy Daniels payment. As I made crystal clear during my statement prior to incarceration before Judge William H. Pauley, which sadly went mostly ignored, one of the things that I said is that I did this at the direction of and for the benefit of Donald J. Trump. But what I also included is the fact that Allen Weisselberg was a party to my conversations with Mr. Trump, hence the recording that was ultimately put out on CNN when Rudy Giuliani claimed certain things that were, of course, not true. I mean, what do you expect? It's Rudy. So Allen Weisselberg was a party to that. The more people that, if you can get everybody that was involved, it's certainly better, but it's not the end all be all. You know, one of the things, Ali, also, a lot of people on social media, they reach out to me and say, oh, if you have the goods, drop it, give it, spill it. I know there are a lot of people out there, especially that watch this show and watch you, that are interested in me sitting here and spilling all of the information. And please understand when I say that I can't do that, or I can't do it, I just choose not to, simply because it doesn't help the district attorney, and it doesn't help the investigation in order to hold those people responsible for their own dirty deeds. And that's one of the reasons why I have now spent 8 different sessions going back over a year and a half, closer to 2 years, when the district attorney first came to Otisville to interview me. After 8 times, you could rest assured they're not asking me once again to come in for a 9th time simply because they find me funny or because they just have nothing to do. Each and every time, they're drilling down more and more and more. And ultimately,
so why did you need to go in person this time?
You're going to start to see very soon. Yeah, you're going to see very soon, in my opinion, indictments start flying.
So why did you need to go in person this time? What was different?
Well, like I said, there's over 1 million documents. And rest assured, there's one thing I can tell you about Cy Vance and Mark Pomeranz and the entire district attorney team. They are well organized. They are disciplined. They are methodical in their questioning and their documentation. I mean, there was more paper there, all tabulated in 3-ring books, itemized for questions that they wanted to pose by me. There was more than you would possibly even imagine. It was like a paper vault of information. And, there's a lot of documentation. And look, right now I'm on home confinement, so I certainly have a lot of free time to head downtown, to sit with them. And like I said, one of the reasons that I'm doing this is I will not be the villain of Donald Trump's story. They need to all be held responsible for their own dirty deeds. I don't want to be responsible for their actions.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.